Jammin' 5280 The Vibe. Welcome back, Street Beats Nation. DJ Richie Rich here for you today on this terrific Tuesday. And I have a special guest aboard with me today, Gary Lefkowitz. And I tell you what, he's a promoter, producing records for over 25 years. And the last 10 years, he's been focused on top 40. Gary, welcome aboard to The Vibe right here. And how you doing today?
Hey, Richie, I'm doing great.
Now, you got a high-class list of people that you're promoting. But today, we're promoting Gary today with his new song right here.
Hi-Fi is the name, is the group that I've been going by for years.
Hi-Fi, okay.
So Hi-Fi is the group, and the song is She's My Girl.
She's My Girl. We're going to play this right after the interview. We're going to play your song right here. Now, tell our listeners, Gary, some of your background that you've been doing. It's quite extensive, and we got all day, man.
Well, I guess what I'm most proud about is that I've hooked up with my childhood hero, Chubby Checker, and for the last 10 years, I've been, producing his records and running his record label. And, had a lot of success with him. We've recorded 3 records that have extended his chart life to over 50 years on Billboard. We did something called Limbo Rock Remix, which was a remake of his Limbo Rock.
Yeah.
Then we did a song of his called Knock Down the Walls. It got to number 26 at Adult Contemporary. And that was really the song that got him his label deal with Red and Sony Music. So, and the man has had an amazing career, and I've been able to share in the last 10 years, which has been awesome.
Now, what's it like when you go into the studio with someone that you've idolized and looked up to and wanted to just be around? You get in that studio, you freeze up the first time?
No, what I asked him afterwards is, I said, I can't believe you listened to me. And he says, why wouldn't I listen to somebody that's trying to help my performance? That's the kind of guy he is. I mean, awesome guy. Yeah, I don't even know it was nerves as much the first time as just an incredible buzz. Being in the studio with him it was like there was a sun shining in the room.
Nice.
That's what it was like.
Yeah, that's got to be great. I mean, I think if I got in there to the studio with him, I had to have froze up for a little while, and or even with the, we're talking about Gary Lefkowitz with none other than Fleetwood Mac, Ace of Base, Joan Jett. I mean, you have a list that goes on and on and on, and which is fantastic. And now you're on your own doing a She's My Girl, which we're going to be playing today right here on the station.
Yeah, and I do want to say I promoted all those acts. I won't say every one of those I was involved with as much as Chubby Checker. There were some more than others, maybe Julian, Lennon, who I met. And I mean, all those people, I promoted their records over the last 20 years, and it's been great. And recently this summer I did Alexa Ray Joel, Billy Joel's daughter, and that was, had a lot of some people you have more contact with than others.
Sure.
With her, I had a lot of contact. She's an awesome, unbelievable talent, and it's been great, to be able to promote those people.
Yeah.
And
that's got to be fantastic. Now, just getting involved with it and promoting. Now, when you start promoting a single track or just even the band, how does that get evolved? I mean, it starts off the first year, they make the track, and what's the length and the time frame that it takes for you to really start kicking off a track of theirs? I mean,
well, with many of those artists, I was doing retainer work for Universal or for Curb Records or Virgin, where they would hire me independently, so that the stuff was already done, and I had gotten a reputation from doing my own records. I think one guy at Atlantic one time said to me, if you can get your crummy records on the radio, you should be able to do something for us. So
yeah.
That's how it led from me doing my records, and then I got hired by the labels, and I had a mentor, Bill Jerome, who was a very famous producer and promoter from the 70s, and he was one who took me under his wing and helped get me work at the labels, under his wing. So a lot of that was a result of him sort of nurturing me. So I owe a lot to him.
Wow, that's incredible. Looking at this list, being a producer, those of you just tuning in right here, Jammin' 5280 The Vibe, we have a promoter, producer right here of some very talented groups, and we're going to be showcasing his song, She's My Girl, right here, none other than our special guest, Gary Lefkowitz, right here on Street Beats. Gary, it's fantastic. Now, do you get a lot of the newer groups and newer artists that are still contacting you today and just sending you tracks all the time, asking you to promote them?
Well, I think I get more. I tend to either get something from, again, like somebody like Alexa Ray Joel, who will come from somebody I know or knows about me. I think most of the stuff now that I get, because it's gotten so tightened up with the labels, I get a lot of just new and up-and-coming people. Right. And that's always been even while promoting some of those other big acts, the thing that I take the most pride in is those people who I promoted from your ground level and help them get label deals and that kind of. And I think the last year or so I've been doing more of that and promoting people and producing acts that are, much newer. And that's been great. It's been a lot of fun.
Oh, it has to be a blast. Now, I've seen a lot of interviews lately. Well, and this has been going on probably for the last 5-8 years, is that these labels, a lot of these artists now are getting their own records done by themselves. A lot of them, they still need to promote it in that, but they're doing the recordings, they're doing all this stuff. It's taken a lot from the recording industry, isn't it?
Yeah, and I think that's essentially where Chubby Checker came. Chubby, we've done all his stuff unto ourselves, meaning I produced his record, co-produced him. I have a partner, Mike Rogers, who is an incredible producer. He produced Groove is in the Heart, and many other. That was his biggest record with Delight. Yeah. And, we produced the stuff in-house. And then with Chubby's stuff, I basically promoted it by myself. We'll sometimes have help from other people, but, we've been able to sort of cover it ourselves. And I think that's what a lot of people do. A lot of Coldplay, and I think groups like that who have, I think Coldplay actually even signed with Red. And a lot of these bands find it easier to just do it unto themselves. Yeah. Because you can do it on the internet and get on iTunes, and it doesn't involve as much the record stores as it used to.
Right, and you have Street Beats promoted right here on Jammin' 5280 The Vibe. We can do that
that's
too.
Right.
Yeah, so those of you just tuning in, right now you're listening to our special guest, Gary Lefkowitz, right here on Street Beats on this terrific Tuesday. A fantastic promoter, one of the top promoters in the United States, producing records, and right now he's got his own She's My Girl, which we're going to be promoting and showcasing right here on the show today, and he's working real close with Chubby Checker. I don't even think, Gary, I could start producing anything. If I got in there with you guys and these groups that you bring in, and especially Chubby Checker, I'd be dancing all day. I wouldn't be...
Well, you would, but when you have a partner like I have with Mike Rogers, it's easy. He does all the grunt work. Yeah. And I think one of the things we were talking about before we got on the air that maybe people should know, when we got our deal with Red, it wasn't like I kind of slipped this record in. I'm not going to give away my age, but it's like when I came to them and it was ready to be released, and the vice president of Red said to me, did I tell you could do this? And I said, well, sorta. You didn't say I couldn't do it, so it was, it was something I just did once we had that deal with Red, and once we had Chubby's thing going along real well. So this was a real labor of love to do this record.
Oh, absolutely. Now tell our listeners, how can they get a hold of your record? Do you have
it's very, I didn't mean to interrupt, very easy. I'm so used to it. I learned this from Chubby, he's a better salesman than I am. But all you do is go to Hi-Fi, which is the name of the group, She's My Girl, punch that in on iTunes, and it'll be there for you, you know. And the other thing is the video is up on YouTube, and you do the same thing. Go to YouTube, put in Hi-Fi and She's My Girl, and you'll see our video.
Nice. I like it. Well, man, I can't thank you enough for coming aboard with us, Gary, today. It's been fantastic, and we're going to be showcasing She's My Girl right here on the station. And I'd like to keep in touch with you. Keep sending us your beats right here so we can put them on the streets of the nation.
Well, what I'll do is I'm going to definitely send you the next Chubby Checker remix that we have called The Fly, and I'll definitely send that to you within the next few weeks. We'll have that out. So. All
right, Gary, I sure appreciate it. Special guest right here on Street Beats, Gary Lefkowitz. Now we're going to be listening to the song right here from She's My Girl. We're going to showcase it right here. Coming up next, Street Beats in the house. I'm DJ Richie Rich, jamming 5280 The Vibe. Right now, She's My Girl.
I heard it record on the radio late last night. It reminded me of how we used to be. I know you think you're crazy and too cool for me. She's my girl, I wanna let you know. It drives me crazy, but you know it's alright. She's my girl, I need to let you know. I see your face spin my head when I sleep at night. You walk away like you just don't care. You treat me like a fool, it's like I'm just not there. She's my girl, I wanna let you know. It drives me crazy, but you know it's alright. She's my girl, I need to let you know. I need to let you know. I could be happy, maybe, when you're around. But if you're in heaven, baby, oh yeah. It drives me crazy, but you know it's alright. She's my girl, I wanna let you know. It drives me crazy, but you know it's alright. She's my girl, I need to let you know. I gotta tell you how I feel. That's right. It's just how I feel.
Street Beats, peace.